Hello, what's up everybody? How is it going? Welcome to another video of tutorial series Learning Laravel from Scratch. I'm your host Anwar Ali and I'm here today with a new topic, and the topic is using Laravel routes much efficiently, and there are some tricks and some tips related to Laravel routes which we'll be dealing today in order to minimize our code, in order to write routes more efficiently and to make it look much cleaner. So we'll be dealing with that topic today. We already have built a simple CRUD operation for categories and news in our website, and we also have dashboard, which is just a simple, let's say, page, and these are all static pages. We can work out on it later on, but there are a few things that I want you to understand about routes. In order to start working in bigger project, we should have a sound knowledge of route to minimize our work efficiency. I mean, to maximize our work efficiency and minimize our workload. So let us understand that generally in our project we shall have routes that looks almost similar or have some similar patterns. Like if you see in line number 19, we have this route which has /admin as the beginning. Similarly, we also have /admin in the beginning for this route and also for this route, right? Similarly, if you see, you can see these namespaces over here. So we have admin / in front of this. This is a namespace, and admin / in front of this controller. This is also a namespace. So we have similar patterns being followed, right? So if you see, we have as admin and as admin as route name prefix. This was the prefix for route URL, and this is a prefix for route name. So we have many things similar, and we might have some more controllers in futures. Like if you are working in some bigger projects like e-commerce project, you can have controllers like brand, model, products, and categories, attributes, and let's say customers, and there will be various models in our backend, in your admin panel. In such cases, we might have to work on more than 10s or 15s of controllers which will follow the same pattern. So it is not a good approach to write the route this way, just writing routes for each and every URL one by one. But we can create groups of routes. We can create a group with certain prefix and certain, let's say, namespace, and even we can use middlewares in the route in order to minimize our code. So let's say, let us put these three routes together, which is following the same syntax. So I'll just cut this and paste it over here. Secondly, what I want to do is I want to make the pattern exactly the same. So if this has /admin in the beginning, this and this also should have /admin in the beginning. So if this has namespace admin / in the beginning, I would also like to make this controller with the same namespace and same route name prefix. Okay, so why don't we just move our home controller to our, let's say, admin folder in order to follow the same pattern. So we will not be creating a home controller again, rather we can just use our terminal or command prompt in order to generate our home controller inside admin folder. So let's get inside the folder first of all. So applications /amps /www/project project. So here I'm inside my folder. Now let us just create a controller, php artisan make controller, and our controller will be inside admin and home controller, right? So I've created my home controller successfully. So let's get inside app http, and you can see inside my admin folder now I have a home controller. Let me just open this and also open the home control that we already have. So I would like to copy some of the codes from here. So let me just copy this and also this and this. So let me just copy all these functions, copy and paste it over here this way. And also need to check if there is something I need to use. So everything is there. Request is there. We have also used the controller. fine, perfect. So we have built our home controller successfully. Let me just close this now, and I can delete the home controller, or let us just back it up, rename, and just add an underscore at the end so that it is no more usable. Secondly, after we have logged in, it is redirecting me to home controller, and my home controller is, I'm in home route, and my home route is over here, which is this, right? So now this should be, I can add, let's say, admin slash in front of this, because it is no more inside HTTP, but it is inside HTTP controllers inside admin folder. So I can add a namespace admin slash in front of home controller. Similarly, if I want to change the route to admin.home, let's say if I want to add a prefix admin.home in front of it, either I can do this, or I can just say, let's say, we can just have comma as in front of it and give the name of the route name prefix as admin. Anything up to you. So you can just add admin dot, which is much easier because we have a specific name for this. So I'll just add admin dot in front of it. But this and this is exactly the same. This is also adding admin dot in front of our route name, and I'm adding it manually over here so that everything it reduces the complexity. But just think, now we are in the same pattern. We have slash admin in front of it, we have slash name admin slash namespace in front of it, and we have an admin prefix in front of our route name. Okay, so this was the first step that we just completed. Now what I can do is I need to change the route name. Wherever I have used home, I need to make it admin.home. So it must be inside my admin blade first of all. So let me get inside my resource controller, views, admin, no, layouts, admin blade, and I can just search for home, which is over here. So I need to make it admin.home. Do we have that anywhere else? No. So let's get inside some other views, which was, let's start from categories, create blade. So we must have home over here, and we also have home over here, and we also have home over here. Similarly, let's get inside create. We have home here, so admin.home. Edit blade, we have home over here, so admin dot, and finally we have home over here, so which is inside this. So I think we have completed our modifications. Now let's check to see if our project is running smoothly. Yes, so everything is working fine. If I get inside category, this is working, my dashboard is working. So now I have a working project with a similar pattern of routes, which is, I can just close all this, close this, edit blade, create blade, edit blade, index blade, and admin blade. now what I want to do is I want to minimize my code, because I'm following the same pattern in each and every route. So what I can do is I can create, first of all, let us just create a group of a route, because all of these belong to the same group, that is admin group. So why don't we just create a group for a route? So in order to create group, we can just say group and write a function over here, round bracket for the function, curly bracket for the function, give an enter, and place a semicolon at the end. So this is a group, and I want all these three groups to be in the same, all these three routes to be inside the same group. So this was the first thing. We just created a group. Now after moving these three routes inside this group, we cannot just leave this group alone. The group either expects two parameter, the first parameter of the group should be an array. Okay, so either we can provide an array with certain things, certain parameters, certain indexes to this group, or we can just nest this group with some other functions. I'll show you the both way. So first of all, let us just deal with this prefix. So this slash admin over here, slash admin over here, and slash admin over here is generally denoted by an index known as prefix. So we can just add prefix, and our prefix in this case is admin. Now once we have added, oops, no, not this. So prefix is the index and admin is our value. So after the array is done, we can just give a comma and continue our function. Now after adding the prefix to this group, we can just remove this admin from here, remove the admin, remove the admin. We'll just refresh this and it should work exactly the same way it used to. So by adding this prefix over here, we have removed slash admin from these three URLs. So by adding prefix in the group, we'll add the prefix to entire route group, to each and every routes inside that group. So this is the one of the way of defining a prefix, but a much cleaner way, I would rather prefer a nested function. So before the group, what we can do is we can just have a function called prefix and say admin over here and just nest the function with group. So prefix admin group. Now this look much cleaner and this is more understandable, I think, right? So we can add prefix admin group to this route group. Okay, so if you just refresh this now, you can see that it is working. Now you don't have to mess with the index and value. You can just call a function called prefix and add your desired prefix over there. So once we have added the prefix, now it is equivalent to adding prefix to each and every route inside that group. So the first thing that we have covered in the same pattern, we have removed the admin from each and every route group. Now second thing, if you want to get rid of this namespace from here, what we can do is just remove this namespace from here and call another function in our nested function, and which will be namespace. So I'll just add a function called namespace, call the function, and add admin over here because admin is our namespace, and this admin, once we add a function called admin in this group, namespace in this group with the value admin, it will add admin in front of each and every controller as namespace. So let me just refresh this to see everything is working fine, and yes, it has added the namespace. So adding it in the single place is working for each and every route inside that group. Finally, I want to get rid of this admin dot and this as admin and as admin. As I told, admin dot is equivalent to add admin. So this is also adding a let's say prefix in our name, which is admin dot, right? So and our prefix for route name is not just admin, it is admin and a dot. So if I need to add a prefix in my route name, so I can call a function called as, just like this. So let us say I want to call another function called as and just add my prefix over there, and my prefix is admin and a dot, right? So admin dot is my prefix which I want before home and before each and every routes generated by our resource controllers. So now I can remove admin dot from here, and I can remove as admin from here, and I can remove as admin from here as well. So now let's save it and check it for the last time. So now you can see that it's working for each and every module, and at the same time we have minimized our code 3 times less, right? So we don't have slash admin over here, we don't have admin slash over here, and we don't have admin dot or as admin over here. So our route is much more simpler and easier to read as well. So this is saying, actually if you see, it is saying that these 3 routes is inside a group which has a route name prefix as admin dot, which has a URL prefix as admin, and which has a namespace of admin. Most of us get confused that admin that as and prefix both are the same thing, but they are not. Actually, prefix is the prefix of the URL, which is like /admin. In this case, the URL prefix stands for the URL prefix, and as stands for the name prefix. So these two are two different things. If you want a prefix in front of your route name, in that case we need to call a function called as, and if you want a prefix in front of your URL, in that case you can call a function called prefix. So these two are two different functions which does two different operations. So once we have done this, we have made our route look cleaner, and we have minimized the code as well. So if you are working a big project, route group will really be helpful. Now, one last thing I want to cover before we end up with the topic is, if you see, these are all the modules that is related to admin panel, and one of the most common thing in admin panel is, let's start with our home controller. You will see even in this case there is a pattern that is being followed. So for example, each and every controller has a constructor that is calling a middleware called auth, and this is responsible to handle the session to check if the user is already logged in, and if it is not logged in, it will redirect us to login page. The same thing is done inside our admin categories, middleware auth, and news middleware auth, because all of these controllers belongs to the admin panel, which requires user to log in before entering. Now the interesting thing about route is we can even handle these such middlewares through our route. All we need to do is we can add a middleware to the route group. We can either add middleware to each and every route individually, or we can add it in the group just like this. So we can just say middleware and provide our middleware, which is auth, and nest it with the group. Now we can remove our middleware from our controller. So I removed it from my home controller, I can remove it from my categories controller, and I can remove it from my news controller. So you can see we have removed a bunch of codes from each and every controller, and sometimes in future we might need to use multiple let's say middleware. In that case we can just add more middleware to it, either by passing it as an array, or we can just keep on nesting it with middleware. Okay, so this is saying now entire route which belongs to this group is using the middleware auth. Let us just practically demonstrate it. So let's copy this URL and log out. Now I'm logged out, and if I try to browse that URL from here, it will take me back to login, because this route that I've just pasted in the browser is using the middleware called auth that is checking to see if I'm already logged in. Now if you go, it is checking for the auth, the route that I just pasted in the browser, checking for the auth, so it is redirecting me back to login page, even though I have not written the middleware. I have not mentioned the middleware or used the middleware inside my controller. Just by mentioning it in the route, I have already integrated the middleware with my controller. So this is how the route can be used efficiently in Laravel. There could be much more topic that we can cover in routes, but I think this will be a good way to start with your routing using Laravel, and the more you do, you will keep on exploring. I hope this was a helpful tutorial and it was useful, and if you did like the video, don't forget to hit the like button, click on subscribe if you have not subscribed yet, and share the video if you liked it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video, and if you have any confusions regarding the video, or if you have any questions, you can just mention it in the comment, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new topic. Have a nice time. Goodbye.